Okay, so today we're going to finish Black Forest Swirl Bears. Swirl Bears. You should try them, Bob. Tasha's saying you should try the Black Forest Swirl Bears. Gummy bears.
Gummy bears. Got them.
Yep.
See?
Yep. Yep. She's giving you a recommendation for a kind of gummy bear, a brand.
Oh,
Black Forest Swirl. Okay. So today
I've
we're going to
never
finish.
tried those.
Now that Tosh thinks you should. So today we're going to finish chapter 13. There will be a quiz today at 4 p.m. On chapter 13. We'll meet on Monday, uh, and then we'll have break in on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of next week. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay, emotions and illness. Hostility is correlated with heart disease. So type A personality. This is the kind of personality who is an individual who's ambitious, impatient, easy to anger, hardworking, and having high standards for oneself. Now, the personality type is less predictive of health problems than is hostility, but our proneness to anger is the major risk factor. So when they looked at people, men, and rated their hostility scores as young medical students, when they found them again 25 years later, they found that the more hostility, the higher the hostility rating when they were med students, the increased likelihood that they were going to why did it do that they were going to develop heart disease. But you can see, and these are just nominal scores. So this means low. This means higher, higher, highest, highest, right? But you can see that some hostility is actually protective, right? So having some hostility is a good thing, meaning venting, meaning letting things go, right? So it's not like a straight line of less is better. There's always a moderate amount of everything. Everything in moderation, they say. Sally is best described as an overachiever. She exercises for 5 hours every morning before work and stays at work well past 8 p.m. Diane is best described as being laid back. She works from 9 to 5 most days and spends her free time relaxing with friends. Based on these types of descriptions, who is more likely to develop health problems? It's going to be Sally because she's the hardworking overachiever. Clinical depression. It's linked to at least a doubled risk of later heart attack and cardiovascular disease. Also, cancer causes depression, not only because people are dealing with it, but also the cells themselves. The cells, the tumors, produce high levels of a chemical that cause symptoms of depression. So, as if it weren't bad enough, the tumor itself causes depression. Now, positive emotions. Positive emotions do not cause longevity, which means longer lifespans, but age often comes with less anger and more contentedness. But we do know that positive emotions do bring physical benefits. They help people achieve goals and they attract people friends, which I think is kind of hilarious because they're saying, having positive emotions won't necessarily get cats to like you or dogs to like you or birds or, like Snow White exiting the little, dwelling and then and then the birds come on her, right? So they won't draw non-human animals. Letting grievances go. Okay. So confession, divulging private thoughts and feelings that make you ashamed, worried, or sad. Right. So when we let them go, we can also give up thoughts that produce grudges and replace them with different perspectives. Forgiving thoughts can restore a sense of control. See, a lot of our problems that we have is feeling out of control, not just over ourselves, but of the situation and other people. And so that really gets to us. So when we let grudges go, when we let grievances go, we are doing it. And so we acknowledge that we are the ones that have control over that anger, that hostility. that grudge. So there are two primary ways of solving problems. One is to focus on how you respond to it. That would be that secondary control, remember? So we call it emotion focused coping. Concentrating on the emotions the problem is caused. The first one, or the second one, is problem focused coping. This is a form of primary control where you want to address the problem itself, not how you're responding to it, but you want to go to the cause, to the root of the problem. John was recently in a car accident. His reaction was to talk to all of his friends about how scary the incident was and how upset he is. John is engaging in what?
B.
B, emotion
I
focused
agree.
coping. Because he's talking about the emotion of fear, the emotion of frustration or anger. We have to try to rethink the problem, reappraise the situation. What does that mean? Is like when we're talking about appraisal uh, and the coming in second place versus first place, and how the people were less happy in second place and the person that was in third place, we reappraise that situation, right? Instead of thinking of it as I was this close to winning, maybe you should think of it as I was the second best. Learn from the experience, right? You came in second. Maybe next time when you're, swimming, you hold your breath like 2 seconds longer, or you give yourself one more, one more paddle or something, or you know to kick it up the hill if you're running, or learn from the experience. Um, you had a breakup. Well, okay, well then I guess maybe I shouldn't date people who have, interests in going out all the time. Make
Can I
social.
ask something about that? How about the people when you refer to learning from experiences? How about the people that have like issues with substances? You would think that after the first go around, they would think about it, but it seems to be a reoccurring thing over and over and over again.
Yeah.
What do you think causes that?
That's why addiction is a disease, because it's not
Hmm.
something you can just learn from and move on from. It takes something more than just willpower.
Oh, I believe that.
I know you do. You understand it.
Yeah. But I was just wondering, what you thought about that. I mean,
The whole idea behind addiction is it changes the way you think. That's why you
it's
can't.
like cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yes, that's what you need. Do you need to counteract that way, that stylistic way of thinking, and counteract those habitual ways of behaving? Yeah.
So one last real quick question. I just want your opinion. Do you believe that a person will only stop abusing drugs or alcohol if they want to stop using drugs and alcohol?
I mean, the simple answer is no, because if there are no drugs and alcohol available, they'll stop. They don't have the option, right? Um,
Right.
and if someone's incarcerated and if they don't have access to it, then they'll stop. But someone um, who's who has their freedom and who has it available, um, I think yes, people who are forced to quit things that they don't want to quit, or things they don't think they can quit, have a much more difficult time. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Good questions. The last part here is making social comparisons, right? So yeah, oh man, I got this problem, I got that problem. And then maybe you see something on the news, or maybe you see something on social media and you're like, boy, that person's got it bad. That's Man, I don't have it that bad. So make downward social comparisons. That means think of people who have it worse than you. You know, um, we've all, at some point, if you haven't yet, there will be a point more, better than chance would predict. You're gonna hit a point in your life that's not so great. And so when you get past that hump, you're gonna look back and say, well, at least I have hot water. I didn't have hot water for a year. That was terrible. At least I have food. You know, I didn't have always have food available. Yeah, most of us have been there. Some of us are there
Yep.
right now. Yeah. Social support. Friends can help. People who have a network of close connections live longer than those who do not. Partner support. Something as simple as touching and being touched causes oxytocin to be released, and that induces relaxation. They say, go pet your dog, go give your best friend a hug. Giving support to others can be a valuable source of comfort. In one study, they found that when they were I forget exactly what they were doing, but it was something to do with to these women's feet. They were like shocking them or making them really cold or doing something. They were causing pain of some kind. And then they would have different people touch her shoulder. And then they would ask her, "Hi, Koku." They'd ask her, how much pain are you feeling? And so what they found out was that when they were alone, they were feeling the most amount of stress. And then when a stranger just simply touched her shoulder, she felt less stressed. And then when her husband touched her shoulder, she felt even less stress. And then super couples are couples that are like wicked, wicked intimate. They're like wicked close. So they called them super couples. And then the stress would go down significantly, almost a return to normal, just by being touched by someone that was like really, really close to them. So, so touching can even modify our perception of pain.
About how close?
Huh?
Like, how close is that person to them? Like the super couple? Like, wouldn't the husband be like a super couple, kind of?
Yes. So the super couple, that's a good question. The super couples are married people, but they're just like super close. Like they're not the average married couple. They are like
Friends.
best friends.
Oh,
And
I
Yeah.
got it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But sometimes our friends can be the source of the problem, right? Sometimes they're not helpful. So in close relationships, the support person may actually be the source. Married couples who argue in a hostile way have increased elevations of stress hormones and weakened immune systems. I was asking my daughter yesterday, my 9-year-old, because we were talking about something in one of my classes yesterday. And the kids didn't have school, so she was just sitting here listening. We were talking about, people, couples fighting or whatever. And I was like, yeah, your mom and I, we don't fight that much. We don't really disagree. She's like, no, you mostly just yell at us. I'm like, yeah, it's true. Friends may be unsupportive or even block your progress toward a goal. Even well meaning friends, they may fail to be helpful if they don't know how to help or if they're offering the wrong kind of advice. And sometimes your friends aren't actively doing anything, they're just passively living their lives, but you look at them and you think, look how good they have it, which makes you feel worse.
Hey, aren't we missing somebody today?
Hammer is here, but her camera's not on. And
Wow.
usually
Hammer's not feeling. I don't feel great, so
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And
I'm
Sorry
here.
about that.
we have the usual suspects though. We have
Better.
Goku, Hammer, Bob, Tosh, Caleb,
Go.
Sage. But we do have Liv today.
Kinda.
sounds terrible.
We apparently have
Yeah.
a droid from Star Wars.
Not one of us can understand what you're saying, Liv, just for the record. So don't even try. You want to type it up? Have fun, but your audio is wonky. Okay, that's the last slide.
No, really?
Maybe it isn't. I thought it was. Hold on. Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. What was that, Tosh?
Yep.
What was it? What was this?
That didn't take long.
No, we've been okay. Very good. Yes, peace be with you. Also with you. No, we've been kind of going slowly through this chapter through the week. We knew this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions about anything?
Do we have class Monday?
We do have
Yeah.
class.
All right. And our test is
Yeah.
due by Monday still.
Yes, Monday midnight. Yep.
I have a question.
Yes, Caleb.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a wood?
They made a movie about that.
Now you're just mocking me.
I've been, Caleb. This has been an ongoing thing. All right. So, does anyone else have a question?
Early, since we're out
Is
early.
the test is about the last two chapters?
It's just chapter 13, what we covered this week.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
What, Tosh?
Can you put the test up early since we're getting out of class early?
Yeah, I'd kind of like that too, but
Maybe, but it won't be that much earlier. I'll tell you what I'll do, because I have it probably won't be until like 2 at the earliest would be my guess. Because I
Okay.
have 5 classes I got to put up. And so instead of just setting the timeline at 4, as soon as I upload it, I'll make it accessible.
yeah.
Okay.
Sounds cool. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Bye, everybody, except for Bob.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
You too. You too. Start feeling better,
Oh,
Hammer.
oh, I gotta